I was reading an article this week that kept hitting me over and over, like I was in a boxing match with Mike Tyson. Thankfully, I wasn't. But spiritually speaking, I felt God just reiterating important truths as it relates to the church. After teaching on the book of Ephesians the last few weeks and just getting done with Ephesians 4 this past Sunday, I'm alert to and encouraged by anything on unity and the church. Therefore, as I was reading this article, God just kept reminding me how important the church's unity is and how difficult it is to maintain and attain daily. Probably why Ephesians is so repetitive, because you, like me, need to keep hearing how important unity in the church is to God, and therefore we should keep fighting for it. Check out this quote in reference to destroying the biblical community. Some destroy by fire and some destroy by ice, but both can leave a community in ruins. Wow, fire and ice. All I could think about was the old rock song by the greatest female rock singer of all time, Pat Benatar, but I digress. What I took away from this was how the church must be vigilant in guarding, protecting, and persevering while preserving the unity of the Spirit, not just from the obvious complainers and fault finders, but also the silent and subtle destruction of apathy. Yes, grumbling and complaining is obvious most of the time. That person always has some way they could have done it better, whatever it might be. But the more subtle way is the icy way. The cold shoulder and the icy non-interaction are just as painful as the fire-breathing antagonism. Withdrawing from someone is just as divisive as attacking someone. They look different, but they have the same effect. We don't need to burn bridges in order to weaken the beauty and the unity of God's church. We just need to quietly withdraw. I have seen this so many times over the past 25 years of ministry that it's heartbreaking and maddening when I see it happening to somebody that I love. But no matter what I say or do, they themselves don't see what's really happening. Withdrawing should always be accompanied by prayer and purpose. What is the purpose of my withdrawal? If, like Jesus, it is to pray, and for the purpose of being strengthened to re-engage, then that's what we're to do. But if it's for any other purpose or reason, I've never personally seen any fruit of righteousness come from disengagement with the church. It is a passive way to destroy the church community. Here's how it might play out. We get frustrated by those in our church community, so we gradually stop trying so hard. We neglect the uncomfortable conversations. We're not emotionally honest with one another. We keep pretending that everything's fine while letting offense eat us up. Our relationships begin to look more formal than familial. Instead of patiently bearing with others, we replay our grievances in our minds, dwell on our offenses, and find different ways to keep our distance. We stop serving, we stop giving, we stop loving, and eventually we stop living. Living the way God intended, that is, life together. The old saying is, distance makes the heart grow fonder. But in this case, distance makes the heart wander. But not if we persevere with one another and bear with each other in love. Do you love God, the church, and me enough to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace? If so, that means understanding that unity will come only at the cost of painful conversations, humbling confessions, and extended conflict resolution. I encourage you to press into Jesus and into your relationships in the church. Because if we want to be like Jesus, we must fight to be one. Yes, it's difficult, but it's worth it. Because in the end, the result is a deeper love for God and for one another. On top of that, we look like the church Jesus intended for us to be.